أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ورتل القرآن ترتيلا.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, welcome to lesson 54, which is regarded with regards to textual division of the glorious Quran. You see, the text of the Holy Quran has been divided into different units, portions and sections and parts. And the main purpose and objective of this division is to facilitate the recitation of the Holy Quran, particularly those who wants to complete a set portion or the whole of the Holy Quran in a specific period of time. Now, there are at least 5 Arabic terms which are well known in this regard. For example, ayatun, ayah, the verse, and surah, chapter, and ruku, section, and juz, part, and manzil, stage. And I'm going to tell you about this in this lesson. Now, verses and chapters, these divisions were made by Allah the Exalted and clearly mentioned in the Holy Quran. And the next division is called manazil. And manzil is basically the plural of the word manzil. And manzil means the station, stage, the place of rest. One stage is complete, one station has come, and we move to the next. Remember, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has called and referred the reciter of the Holy Quran, the reader of the Holy Quran, is like a journey maker, is a traveler. Okay. Now, it is mentioned in different traditions that once it was asked to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that, O Prophet of Allah, which is the best of the deeds? And he mentioned, and he said, Al-Halul Murtahil, that the best of deeds, the one who is Al-Hal and Al-Murtahil. And it was asked, Qila wa mal halul murtahil. It was asked, O Prophet of Allah, what is the meaning of al halul murtahil? And he said, Sahib al Quran. Sahib al Quran, the reader of the Holy Quran, the memorizer of the Holy Quran, the reciter of the Holy Quran, who starts the reading of the Holy Quran, the recitation of the Holy Quran from the beginning and continue recitation at the end, and then he starts again. And that is Al-Halul Murtahil, the one who starts the Holy Quran like a journey maker, like a traveler, and on different stations continue from page by page, surah by surah, word for word, and in a sequence, in a proper order, starting from Surah Al-Fatiha to An-Nas, and then take some rest, or as far as possible completes and starts again. And this journey is continued. Now, following the noble example of their beloved master, the Sahaba, the companions of the Holy Prophet, also followed that footstep, and they started reciting Holy Quran in their spare time, in the hours of day and in the hours of night. Okay, and some those who have very much time they started Holy Quran, whole of the Holy Quran in one day, in one night, all the time. It is mentioned that one famous well-known tradition, that one Sahabi, a companion, Hazrat Abdullah bin Amr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he was very devoted and committed to reciting the Holy Quran, a lot of recitation of the Holy Quran. And when it was reported to the Holy Prophet Muhammad that he that particular companion recite the Holy Quran much all the time after obligatory prayers, and this is a lot of commitment and devotion. And then he said to him that recite the Holy Quran in 7 days. Okay. First he said that recite the Holy Quran in 1 month, but he said, yes, I am young person, I have time, I can do, I have that power. You see, I'm a young man, I can do, and this is my heartfelt desire. And then it is mentioned that he said, okay, in 2 weeks. And then he continued that, okay. He also, sought was the permission that I should be given more, time, less time for that. And Huzur, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said that iqra fi sab'in wa la tazidanna ala dhalik, that recite the Holy Quran in 7 days, fi sab'in, in 7 days, and not more than that. Okay. Now, so this was the common practice of the Sahaba companions, to recite the whole of the Holy Quran in 7 days, in 1 week. Okay. And they have divided the Holy Quran accordingly. For example, we know that there are 30 parts now, okay, and 114 chapters. 30 parts divided into 30 parts came after, when they divided into manazil. Now, manzil is a station, is a place of rest. When we complete one set of journey, a particular place, one manzil, second manzil. So it is called manazil, manazilul Quran, okay, the stations of the Holy Quran, or stages of the Holy Quran. And in order to remember that there are 7 manazil, 7 stations, starting from Fatiha to An-Nas, it has been divided equally, in 7 stations, 7 stages, or 7 sets. Now remember the following phrase, which has 7 letters: Fami bi shaukin, Fa, Mim, Ya, Ba, Sheen, Waw, Qaf. And this is basically reminds us the beginning, the name of the surah. Okay, in order to remember, because it's very difficult sometime that, okay, companions used to recite the Holy Quran in 7 days. Okay, if starting from Friday, okay, which portion, next which portion, next which portion, and from which surah to up to which surah. Okay, now it is easy to remember. If you say from Fa, which is starting from Fatiha, the first, and Mim means Maida, and Ya, Yunus, and Ba, which is Ba, is Bani Israel, Sheen for Shu'ara, Waw was Safat, and Qaf, Surah Qaf, Surah number 50. Now, if you may remember in the previous lessons, in order to remember 5 al-huruf al-qalqala, letters of light chirp, we say Qutbu Jaddin, Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal, or Utina or Awhayna, with regards to certain rules of the Holy Quran. Now, the first stage, the first station, manzil, is Fa, and this is from Fatiha to Nisa. Fatiha, the chapter number 1, and Nisa, chapter 4. 4 surahs. And we are going to recite the starting verse of the manzil and the last verse. And inshallah, we will continue up to 7 stages. So it means about not less than 4 parts, sometime 4.5. And the first manzil, which is starting from Fatiha to Nisa, is more than 5 parts, because it is completing in part 6. Surah Nisa is completing in part 6, which we inshallah cover in the future lessons about the parts and the ruku sections. But the biggest portion, according to the parts, into the parts, juz, ajza, is the first manzil, first station. We start a journey maker, a holy journey starts from Fatiha, which is the first chapter, and ends on Surah Nisa, and that is completed in part 6. So the 5 parts and some ruku more. You see, around 1/4, less than 1 ruku and quarter is there. So we start with A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, and start the first manzil, which is Surah Al-Fatiha.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Okay. By the grace of Allah, we have started the first manzil. Okay, and we are moving to complete this journey and ending on the first, completing the first. We will, complete our journey on the end of the first station, which is the last verse of Surah Nisa 177. Start. Auzubillah. Hamza.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يبين الله لكم أن تضلوا والله بكل شيء عليم.
Okay, so this is the first manzil. And now Fami Bishaukin, which is the phrase of 7 letters, the next letter meme has been highlighted. So it means the second stage starts from Maida, and it consists of 5 surahs from Maida to Tawbah. Okay, Taha, if you could do the beginning of the second stage.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا أوفوا بالعقود.
Okay, now complete that manzil in the last verse of Surah Tawbah.
فإن تولوا فقل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم.
Now the third stage is starting from Yunus to Nahl, okay, and the Ya, the letter Ya is basically referred to that, from Yunus chapter 10 to Nahl chapter 16, and it includes 7 surahs, 7 chapters. Okay, start third stage.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب الحكيم.
Okay, complete the third stage, the last verse of Surah Nahl 1 to 9.
إن الله مع الذين اتقوا والذين هم محسنون.
Okay. Now the fourth stage start from the letter Ba, Bishaukin, the first Ba, from Bani Israel to Furqan. So Bani Israel chapter 17 to Furqan 25. And this stage, the stage 4th, includes 9 surahs. Okay.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الذي يسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير.
Okay, now complete this fourth stage, which is the last verse of Surah Al-Furqan 25.
قل ما يعبأ بكم ربي لولا دعاؤكم فقد كذبتم فسوف يكون لزاما.
Problem. Jazakallah. So this is the fourth stage. Now fifth stage of manazil or fifth manzil start from Shu'ara, okay, chapter 26 to Yasin 36. From Shu'ara to Yasin. This manzil include 11 surahs. Okay, Hamza, do first.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قاسم ميم تلك آيات الكتاب المبين.
Okay, Taha, you complete fifth manzil.
فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون.
Okay, the sixth stage from Wassafat. Remember the commonly the name of this surah is As-Saffat, Safat. Okay, but wow, it comes in the beginning. So it is taken as Wassafat. So from that surah, chapter 37 to Al-Hujurat, Hujurat chapter 49. Okay, 13 surahs. In this manzil, there are 13 surahs.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصافات صفا.
Okay, complete that sixth stage.
إن الله يعلم غيب السماوات والأرض والله بصير بما تعملون.
Okay, make sure that ayn, when there is a ayn, there should be a soft jerk. Okay, not a high jerk, because ayn is not a letter of a jerk. Ya'lamu. Okay, ya'lamu, ta'amaluna. If you say ya'lamu, then it's a jerk. Okay, so that will be all right. Jazakumullah. Now this is the seventh stage, starting from Surah Qaf, chapter 50, and Surah Nas is the last, and 114. So the last letter from that phrase, Fami Bishaukin. And this set of portions includes 65 surahs. But it doesn't mean that it is a very big stage, a very big manzil. Small surahs. We know that the last chapters, part 30, from Surah Naba to An-Nas, there are 37 surahs. And similarly in part 29, part 28. So it includes about from 4 parts, little bit more than 4 parts, but 4 parts include 65 surahs. And 65 surahs, many surahs are very small, very sometime 5 lines, 3 lines, 10 lines. Okay, so start Surah 7th stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qaf wal Qur'anil Majid.
Okay, finish this surah stage.
Minal jinnati wan nas.
Okay, so it is important when we complete the reading of the Holy Quran according to that stage of following the sunnah of the Sahaba of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. Okay, in 1 week we can complete the Holy Quran, and it is very paramount and important for those who have completed the memorization of the Holy Quran. Remember, this was their favorite hobby, the favorite pastime, or to the engagement, the favorite engagement of the Sahaba. Okay, the companions of the Holy Prophet ﷺ is to recite the Holy Quran, to memorize the Holy Quran. So those who have memorized the Holy Quran, in order to revise the Holy Quran, because it needs a lot of revision, the memorization is quite easy as compared to the revision and to the maintenance. So in order to maintain the memorization, the hifz of the Holy Quran, they used to recite the whole of lot in 1 week, and then they have very good hifz memorization. Now we can see the 7 manazil at a glance in this way. From Fatiha to Nisa, 4 chapters, and it has 672 verses and sections which are Ruku 85, and it starts from Juz 1, okay, para 1, part 1. Now second stage, from Maida to Tawbah, it has 5 chapters, verses 699, 699, 86 sections Ruku, and it completes, or you can say it starts from within part 6, as I mentioned in the beginning. The third stage, from Surah Yunus to Nahl, chapter 16, and it has only 7 chapters, verses total 672, section 68, and it starts in part 11. Fourth, Bani Israel to Furqan, 9 chapters, 912 verses, 76 ruku, and it starts from part 15. Okay. Now the fifth manzil, so Shuara to Yasin, 11, it includes 11 surahs, verses 833 and section 72, and it starts within part 19. Surah Safat to Hujurat, it includes 13 chapters, verses 855, 65 sections total, and it starts from 23. And Surah Qaf to An-Nas, 65 chapters, and it has the biggest verses, small verses, Minal Jinnati wan Nas, Safat Duha, Wal Fajr, Wal small verses, and it has 1,705 verses together, and 106 sections, Ruku, and it starts in part 26. Now, with regards to all that, one thing is important to find out, that Bani Israel, which is the fourth manzil, starts from the very beginning of part 15. Other somewhere inside, inshallah we will cover in the future lesson about the parts and the ruku, how the Holy Quran was divided into 30 equal parts as far as possible, not exactly but equally, and also by sections ruku, in order to facilitate the Holy Quran reading in prayers, in salat. So the total is chapter 114, verses 6348, and sections ruku 558, and total ajza parts are 30. So remember that this manazil Quran is worth following sometime, at least if you have not enough time, at least once a year, or because it depends upon how much you have time. But it is very, very a spiritual player within to complete the Holy Quran in 1 week, as according to that division. Now this division was well known in the time of Sahaba, and it is also mentioned in different traditions of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. For example, in Sunan Abi Dawud, Kitabus Salat, it has been mentioned that how the Sahaba has divided the Holy Quran, the whole lot, into these 7 manazil, okay, and like stations. And also it is mentioned that in order to complete the Holy Quran in a specific time, we must have some set portions, our the hizb, or some specific portion we have to complete on this day, day 1, day 2, day 3. Even if you want to complete in 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, or 1 month, you see, we should have specific portions so that we could complete easily. Not one day you do a lot of recitation, and the next day it declines, the graph declines. Now, it should be equally proportioned recitation of the Holy Quran. So now you can understand what is the meaning of Fami Bishaukin. even if you don't understand, remember, okay, the fourth surah, fourth manzil starts from where? You just say, Fami bishokin, Fa, Ma, Mim, Ya, Ba, Sheen, Waw, Qaf. Qaf, the seventh, you see, you can easily understand. So this is basically the beginning to recognize the 7 stages of the Holy Quran. And it is worth to follow the footsteps of the Sahaba because it will give you a lot of spiritual pleasure, inshallah, when you have that, continuous journey. And it is not an easy job as well, because you have to take time. Maybe you can do first in a good zeal and zest, first day, second day, but you have to maintain. And inshallah, when you will maintain and complete the last manzil, you will feel you have done something very good, and inshallah you can continue afterwards, you see. So whenever you have holidays, you have enough time, 1 week, this is a marathon reading in 1 week. So this is the conclusion of this lesson. Inshallah, we will in the future lesson cover about the parts, ajza and the ruku, which I have mentioned here. With this, we conclude our lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان